It's Friday afternoon, Labor Day weekend, 1998. And I am with dear friends Catherine and Connie, who are here in the audience tonight, and their high school age son, Tyler. And we're on our way to the Olympic Peninsula to go backpacking. They're very excited because it's their first backpacking trip. I'm not so excited because it's my first backpacking trip without my partner of 12 years, who left in May, and I have spent the last 3 months in a virtual faceplant. I am sad and depressed and brokenhearted. But the wild areas and the wilderness brings me alive, and so I am going back there, thanks to the encouragement of Connie and Catherine and Tyler's insistence. So we're in Connie's pickup truck. A couple of hours later, we find ourselves at the Flapjack Lakes trailhead. Connie parks, we grab our gear, we put it on, them for the first time, me, it's very familiar gear, and off we go on a very level path. We spend about 3 miles, 3.5 miles, and the light is starting to dim. And we decide, as we see the trail go up, that we better camp out here for the night. And we have a light dinner, and we go to bed because we know tomorrow is going to be a really tough trek up. So I'm in my tent by myself, and I'm thankful that my body is very strong. My physical body has made it, and I feel good. My emotional body, not so much. I'm a wreck. I want someone to share that experience with, and I've had someone to share that experience with up to this point. I cry myself to sleep. The next morning we get up, have a light breakfast, and we know we've got another 4.5 miles to go, 41-foot elevation gain. It's a tough one for first-time backpackers, but they're willing, and I'm nudging them on because I know there's a limited number of sites up at the lakes. So off we go, traversing up, and we have snacks, and we stop and drink our water. It's 70 degrees. We meet a couple of other backpacking groups, and we kibitz with them and make conversation, and then we start leapfrogging. And we see them stopped, and so we go past them and say hello, and then we stop, and some other group passes us. By the time we get up to the top, we're exhausted, we're hot, we're sweaty. I literally run to the second to the last spot, drop my gear down. And when everyone else comes up, we take our boots off, and we stick our tired feet into that cool water. And it feels so good. And we look around, we made it. And we feel pretty good about that. And I welcomed the fatigue. I welcomed the distraction from that negative loop thinking, will I ever heal? Will I ever feel okay again? The next day, actually the next day and a half, we make other conversation, we make some friends, we go for a day hike, we see some waterfalls, we rest, we have a great time. Sunday night at 6 o'clock, I think it had something to do with Catherine, everybody from the whole place is in our campsite. Somebody brings a guitar. There are songbooks. People bring food. Oh my gosh. We sing and we laugh and we tell stories and we have an amazing time as the full moon rises above the lake. I look at my watch, the night is getting late, and I whisper to Connie and Catherine and Tyler, midnight, let's go skinny dipping. They nod their agreement. And at that time, off come clothes, and we head for the lake. I submerge. When I come back up, I feel like I can touch Grandmother Moon. I look back, and what used to be a smooth lake has got heads popping out and woohooing, and it feels like it's boiling. And I think nothing could be more perfect. Here we are in the wilderness. It is so gorgeous. Yet, my heart hurts. I have a broken heart. The next morning, I realize we've got a long day ahead of us. We've got to hike all the way down. We've got to drive all the way home, and we've got to get unpacked and ready for a truncated work week. While I'm in my sleeping bag, getting things ready to go, I recognize I need something, and I consider making a request of my fellow backpackers. So at breakfast that morning, I say, Connie, Catherine, Tyler, I need to pretend like I'm on this trail down by myself. I need time to process. I need time to commune. Are you guys okay with that? Oh, sure. They're fine. So Tyler heads out first. He's a mountain goat. By the time I get ready, he's probably already at the truck. I get my gear on, and off I go. Catherine and Connie will come down later. So I'm hiking down, and I start my conversation with Great Spirit. I say, Great Spirit, I've been asking the wrong question. It's not, will I ever heal, or when will I feel better, but I have a request. I would love a sign that I am healing. Make it more aspirational. But you know me, I need a big sign. So off I go. And I like it. I like being on the trail by myself. It's different, feels good. And here comes this big log. I walk past it. It's maple. It's filled with moss and ferns. And there's this tiny little gray and white mouse munching on something. And I think, what does mouse represent? What does that mean? Resourceful. Mice are very resourceful. And then I think about myself. I've got everything I need on my back. I have a tent, I have food, I could be out here for a long time. I am resourceful. And I nod my head at the mouse and I thank it and I continue on. And up ahead around a bend, I see two sets of ears. And I'm thinking, that looks like a rabbit, looks like a couple of rabbits. No. Yeah. They're not moving though, so it must be sticks. You know, my eyes. They are rabbits. Oh my gosh, they're not even afraid of me. Look at that. I have never been this close to wild rabbits and had them not run away. And I turn, and one runs away. But the other one stays right there. And two words come to me: abundance and fertility. And at that moment, I recognize I have been focused on the wrong thing. I have been focused on the void, on what I don't have, not what I do have. So I think, what is abundant in my life? Well, I have a body that can backpack. I have friends who love me. I live in Washington State where there's a beautiful trail and lakes like this. I have a job I love. I am abundant. Now, the fertility thing had me puzzled. Wait. This is a very fertile time in my life. I am by myself. I can grow and develop and evolve and learn things I want to do. It is a fertile fertile time. I am smiling now. I feel lighter. I tip my head to the rabbit and I continue down. And I look back and he's still there. Someone else must have needed those words too. So here I'm going, and I'm getting ready to go into this corridor. And it's my favorite part of the trail. Big tall trees and real heavy vegetation on the sides. And it's kind of like a tunnel, and light filters through, and it's just gorgeous. I feel like I'm getting a hug by the whole universe. So I walk inside, and I got this big old smile, and I'm about ready to say thank you to Great Spirit, and crash, crash, crash. Something is in front of me on the trail. And it cuts the distance between us. And I am nose to nose with a bull elk. And he goes like this. And I am awash with warm alfalfa breath. And tears start to well in my eyes. And we hear, both of us hear something over here. And he turns and walks the direction he came. There are 2 doe elk on this draw. And he splits them right down the middle. One goes down, one goes up, and he follows the one up the draw. And by this time, lots of tears. And I recognize my knees are not going to support me anymore. And I just do a wave all the way down with my butt on the trail. And I sob. I have no idea how long I'm there. But I know that Catherine and Connie are coming up behind me somewhere, sometime. So I gather up what I can of my strength and my energy, and I stand up. And for a moment, I don't think I had this experience. How could that be? And I look down at the trail, and here are 2 hooved skid marks. And at that moment, I'm awash in 2 qualities, 2 energies, strength and stamina. And I do my level best to hold the gifts of that encounter. It's too big for me, but I try to hold it. I wipe my face with tears, and I continue down the trail. I am amazed. I don't remember much more of that trail down. When I get down to the truck, Tyler is there, and I must look a fright. He's got a wrinkled up forehead, and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I go, "I'm okay, but I can't talk about it right now." He says something about, "That's okay, I was just waiting for you to come down. I got to run up and grab my mom's backpack, her bad knee, and blah, 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 blah." I don't remember much more, except trying to convince Connie to allow me to lie down in the back of the pickup on the way home. I couldn't fit all this energy into the cab. And so she acquiesces, and so I lie down and they pack all these backpacks around me, so I feel like I'm all snugged in. I'm looking up. 2 bald eagles around and around, flying. I smile, close my eyes, ready for the trip home. 2.5 hours later, we pull up into Connie and Catherine's driveway. We get out, sort out our gear. I point, look, 2 bald eagles soaring above their home. And they say, "Hey, that's cool." We go inside and I unpack my trip down the mountain for them. That day, I didn't just get some clues and some answers and some signs that I was healing. I learned what my life purpose was. Since that time, I have worked with 4 different shamans with a variety of traditions. I have gathered and gathered ancient practices. And now I help others heal from broken hearts and create new neural pathways for themselves and patterns that are productive using their own resourcefulness so they can see their own abundance in fertile times with strength and stamina.